Greetings everyone, we are Team Mindful Compassion. Before we dive deeper into our inbuilt feature and its functionality, first let's have an overview on microaggression. A microaggression is a subtle verbal or non-verbal behavior intended at a memory of a minority group, whether intentionally or unintentionally, that has a negative or disparaging effect. Ever since the pandemic, the world is dependent on digitalized communications more than ever. Thus, we aim to build a technology that helps identify microaggressions in digital platforms. Let's talk about the objective. The objective of this project is to help cultivate empathetic and positive interactions in our communities to safeguard an individual's mental health. Before designing a product to solve the problem, we identified the problem using a persona named as Braden. Braden needs a way to be more respectful and empathetic during his conversations on chatting apps, as he is texting people from new backgrounds that he is unaware of. Incorporating a new technology that helps him detect microaggressions through empathy, such as color-coded text, GIFs depicting the other user's reaction, and a suggested alternative helps him be cautious and empathetic.
These are the design exercises we did during our class to create, test, and revise our prototype. Interviews, storyboard, mind map, user persona and empathy map, heart metrics, system usability test are among the few worth highlighting. Design thinking is an iterative process which seeks to understand users, challenge assumptions, redefine problems, and create innovative solutions through prototyping and testing it. The wallet design in-class exercise helped us understand the process, which was implemented in larger scale throughout the semester. To learn more about microaggression, we interviewed individuals anonymously, asking them questions like, have you ever felt insulted or offended by someone intentionally or unintentionally, verbal or non-verbal? Did that conversation have any kind of effect on you, long term, short term, and what kind of situations do you find these microaggressions in? Our participants were aware of microaggression and scenarios when and where it happened to them, both verbal and nonverbal. It definitely had a long term effect on them, while they also discussed how they deal with it, like correcting them if they are friends and family, and ignoring them and living life to fullest if they are strangers. Storyboarding helped us identify scenarios where our idea and technology could come in handy. It for sure aided us to put our idea into visuals, helping us better understand the significance of the technology we're building. The first prototype in paper was a simple illustration of how our app can be integrated into the mobile system. The functionality included having the option to turn microaggressive alerts on or off through settings. The feature, if activated, would send an alert to the user who is typing microaggressive content through messaging app and help them realize the unintentional biasness they are inflicting on the end user.
In this exercise, we use a persona named as Brandon, who belongs to the age group of 18 to 25. He is a public health policy candidate and he is having a hard time talking to strangers in dating app and cannot distinguish between jokes and microaggressions. He wants to have a delightful conversation without having to worry. So using user persona and empathy map, we divide Brandon into 4 different sections on how he feels, thinks, says, and does. So how does he feel? He feels self-confident and attacked. He thinks dating apps are a good place to find and talk to strangers. People are even real in this app. So what does he say? He says, have you ever gone on a proper date through this app? How many people have you met in real life through this app? So what does he do? He adds pictures that make him look like an extrovert, swipes right on everyone he finds in the app. Similarly, in the improv exercise of prototype designing process, we acknowledge the platforms that will be our target. People commonly face microaggressions in workspaces and personal lives, so we apply our inbuilt feature at work-related collaborative tools like Slacks, Teams, email, and social media platforms to improvise the personal lives.
The first rapid prototype made our visions clear. This app, although non-functional, gave us the idea of what it would look like to use this app on a mobile device. The settings could be personalized to send alerts depending on the scale of microaggression in the text. The color-coded text and emojis helped users be alert of the microaggression and make the conversation more empathetic. Giving and receiving feedback exercise gave our team the chance to realize the good and bad implementations we had in our prototype. It was also important to learn how to give and receive the feedback. This exercise was helpful in improving the design and functionality. Mind map was equally essential exercise we did during our class, which assisted us to pinpoint the functionality and variable we'll be working on. Empathy was the key variable in our project, so we wanted to address that by using emoji, color code, notification for alerts, and provide resourceful article to users to be more aware about microaggression, and also identify the class of microaggression for the users. Heart metrics aided in evaluating the purpose of our app by spotting scenarios. What are the goals and the metrics that will help us identify how we are succeeding in our goal? We want our users to be happy. How? By making our app useful, easy to use, which helps user to have a compassionate conversation. How do we measure it? Through reviews for the app. Likewise, we did the same for engagement, adoption, retention rate, and the success rate to visualize an ideal functional app. This exercise helped us reimagine our purpose again. Our audience is someone who is willing to accept and identify microaggression that might be present in their text. We want our users to feel what kind of impact microaggressive or insulting text can have on them so that they can be more aware and avoid sending such text with the help of our app. That helped us identify we might want to add image or GIFs into our feature. It is necessary to provide the perspective of the end user, as the user sending the text might not connect or feel the emotion of the individual receiving the text. The GIFs can also add to the delight of the user. That's a cherry on top. The first prototype created through Adobe XD gave us a first look of its implementation in iOS system. The semi-functional app showed the feature activation setting page and the conversation between two individuals. The microaggression identification tool identified the category of microaggression, color-coded the microaggressive text, and provided the useful article for the user to read on. The new added feature was GIF, which helped user get visuals on how the end user might react to the text they are about to send. This can help the user put words into picture while also adding delight to it, making the experience more fun and the feature more appealing. The compliance test gives us the opportunity to think if our app is compatible for differently abled people or not. This test was a comparison between the Amazon desktop app and our mobile app. Our features seem to be up to the par with the Amazon app, although some functionality like suggestions on how to correct the microaggression in text could be added on.
Usability test planning. It is a process of describing our goals, methods, and approaches for the actual test. The objective is to help people identify the microaggressions present in the text and take positive actions to deal with it by being equally empathetic towards the microaggressive person. So let's talk about the offers. We provide users with the prototype link. We implement system usability test plan on at least 10 participants, and together it was more than 20 participants. So who exactly are the participants? Participants are a group of people who spend a lot of time on a daily basis communicating with their colleagues, friends, and family through the digital platforms. And now, system usability test. We targeted our classmates as well as other students of Harvard University to interview for the system usability test. 36 users responded to our test out of his 10 individuals SUS score, which is the system usability score, was calculated. The score showed mixed responses. Most of the users showed good response on ease of use, interest to use it more frequently, and learning to use it quickly. Although there is a room for improvement to make the inbuilt feature better in terms of consistency.
This is the final version of our prototype. Flow 1 is a feature activation flow where this looks like a regular settings page in iPhone. But if we go down below, there's text empathy, which when we click, there's a toggle button which the user can turn on and off to notify themselves about microaggression. And we turn it on, go back to settings. And if we press on text empathy again, it's on. We can toggle it on, off. That's basically what first flow looks like. Second flow, this is what a messaging app interface might look like. We'll move on to the first conversation with Julia. These guys are having conversation about party, and what this guy is saying is it wasn't a great party, and Julia is inviting this guy to a party at her school, and this guy is saying which school you go to. Julia, who is an Asian woman, is saying she's going to film school. And this guy types out, I thought Asians were really good at math, lol, as a joke, but it is microaggression. Asians good at math are highlighted in red. The category is race. The Medium article suggested for this guy to read on, and suggested alternative says, awesome, you choose not to go into STEM as many people from East do. And this GIF is the representation of what Julia might react like to the conversation this guy is about to send. If we go back, the message is read now. Moving on to another conversation with Sam Yoon. This guys are having conversation about weather and location. And this guy says, I bet Barcelona is warm right now. And Sam Yoon says, I've heard Barcelona is a really nice place. And this guy types out, you haven't been to Europe? You really should go. Haven't been to Europe, should go is microaggressive. Category is socioeconomic class, assuming that everyone has the means to go travel the world. There's a Medium article suggested for this guy to read on, and the suggested alternative says, I have been there once, it is indeed an amazing place. And the GIF representation of what Sam Yoon might react like to the text this guy is about to send. If we hit back, we are done with our prototype run through. And this is what our prototype looks like. The outcome was awesome. With iteration on building, testing, giving and receiving feedback, we were able to bring our idea to fruition. Identifying microaggression in the text through color and GIFs, categorizing the microaggression based on race, gender, age, and socioeconomic class, resourceful link on microaggression to better understand the topic, and the suggested empathetic text as an alternative to the microaggressive ones made our feature experience complete. I hope you all like the idea and the outcome. What about this presentation template? Isn't it cool? Team Mindful Compassion signing off. Thanks.